The medium-term budget policy statement, also known as the mini-budget, is an important part of the overall budget process because it establishes the policy framework for the national budget, which is to be presented in February of the following year. The MTBPS, as it is commonly known, also updates Parliament and the country as a whole on Treasury's perception of the current economic situation. In this video, we explain the medium-term budget policy statement and its importance. Welcome back to Public Administration 101, proudly brought to you by Kano Consultants. For professional advice you can trust. As indicated, in this video, we will discuss the medium-term budget policy statement by first explaining what the medium-term budget policy statement is. We will then list which legislations are tabled during the MTBPS. We will then explain Parliament's role in relation to the mini-budget. We will then indicate when this mini-budget is normally tabled, as well as what happens after its tabling in Parliament. We will then conclude by explaining why the medium-term budget policy statement is important and necessary. Now, let us get into today's video. As an introduction, let's start by explaining what the medium-term budget policy statement is. The medium-term budget policy statement, or the MTBPS, is also referred to as the mini-budget. The medium-term budget policy statement allows government departments to apply for adjustments to their budgets, apply for rollovers, as well as request additional funds for unforeseeable and unavoidable expenditure. The medium-term budget policy statement also indicates how government intends allocating the upcoming national budget. This medium-term budget also includes information on spending estimates for the first half of the current year, and any adjustments to the proposed revenue and spending estimates for the second half of the current year, as well as outcomes for the previous year. During the tabling of the medium-term budget policy statement, the Finance Minister usually also introduces a number of bills as well, including the following: the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, the Adjustments Appropriation Bill, the Rates and Monetary Amounts and Amendment of Revenue Laws Bill, Taxation Laws Amendment Bill, and the Tax Administration Laws Amendment Bill. Parliament plays a crucial role during the mini-budget process. In this next section, we discuss Parliament's role in relation to the medium-term budget policy statement. The medium-term budget policy statement makes it possible for Parliament and the public to interact with the government budget through the committee's oversight role over government departments. One of the mechanisms used by Parliament is conducting oversight over departments through its committees when they perform reviews on the effective and efficient use of available resources. This process is known as the Budget Review and Recommendations, which must be tabled in the National Assembly before the medium-term budget policy statement reports are adopted. So, when is the medium-term budget policy statement normally tabled? The medium-term budget policy statement is normally tabled by the Minister of Finance during October of each year, which is usually 3 months before the tabling of the national budget. After the mini-budget has been tabled in Parliament, after the tabling of the medium-term budget policy statement, the committees of Parliament, which are the Standing Committees on Appropriations and Finance, must conduct public hearings with relevant stakeholders. Submissions are then received from these stakeholders during these public hearings. 30 days after the tabling of the mini-budget, the finance committees of both Houses of Parliament must report on the proposed fiscal framework, and the appropriations committees must also report on the proposed division of revenue and grant allocations to provinces and local governments. The Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, known as DORA, is then considered. Before we continue, on why the medium-term budget policy statement is important. We'd like to let you know that, if you're new here, welcome to our channel. This is where we touch on some of the aspects of public administration, public management, and public finance. So make sure that you support the channel by clicking on that subscribe button. This will ensure that you don't miss out when we post new videos. And don't forget to like this video if you find our content informative and useful. Now, back to today's video. And why the medium-term budget policy statement is important. The medium-term budget policy statement plays a critical role in the entire budgetary process, because it sets the tone for the fiscal framework for the next national budget. The mini-budget also provides first sight to some of the fiscal developments, as well as any new budget proposals prior to such proposals being tabled in Parliament. The medium-term budget policy statement also contains information on the medium-term economic outlook and the fiscal framework. This means that it provides Parliament and the country as a whole with an update on how Treasury perceives the present economic situation. On the intergovernmental front, the mini-budget announces the budget's intergovernmental allocations, as well as interprovincial allocations, in respect of expenditure. The mini-budget considers the functional and economic classification of expected expenditure. That is, the share spent on sectors such as health, education, and security in the total consolidated budget, and the expected split between capital and current spending. The medium-term budget policy statement also enables a thorough and timely evaluation of the macroeconomic policy assumptions and performance, as well as intergovernmental financial relations decisions. However, the usefulness of the medium-term budget policy statement must be qualified by stating that it is not a policy document, and therefore does not serve as a platform for sweeping changes to the fiscal policy. But, as stated, it does provide hints of what to expect in the government's national budget, which will be tabled in February of the following year. To learn more about the national budget process and the Finance Minister's budget speech, please check out this video by clicking here. On that note, we've come to the end of this video on the medium-term budget policy statement. So, thank you for watching. As indicated, please take time to check out our other videos on public administration and public finance under this channel, where we discuss various topics relating to public administration, as well as public management and the management of the public sector, including the running of government. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. And remember to turn on the notification button to make sure that you don't miss out when we post new videos. You can also connect with us by following us on social media at ConsultKano, and continue the conversation by leaving us a comment below this video, or tag us on social media using the hashtag ConsultKano. Thank you again for watching. Join us again next time for another video. Until then, check out these other videos. Kano Consultants, for professional advice you can trust.